She, too, is having trouble just keeping up with all the different moving parts here, and we do have to give our leadership a break when it comes to that. At the same time, we do need to feel trust again. Joining me now this half hour, MSNBC political analyst Michelle Bernard. Michelle, I feel like the biggest issue here is getting the taxpayers on board with whatever is going to happen. To me, that is fundamental to success. What do you think?
I think it is absolutely fundamental to success. Just, anecdotally, if you just go out, Mika, and you talk to anybody that lives outside of Washington, even for many of those of us who live in Washington, people don't understand what's going on. I was having a conversation with somebody this morning, and they were telling me how, we were told that we were going to have this economic Armageddon and that this bill needed to be passed last Friday. Well, it wasn't passed, and the earth, was still round on Saturday morning. The Dow dropped on Monday, but then it sort of evened out again yesterday. People don't really understand what's happening with the economy, and I think fundamentally it shows a lack of leadership in Washington right now, and it's up to the president and to members of Congress to understand why some sort of a bailout measure is necessary, because it's just not conservatives who were against the two bills that we've seen so far. It is conservatives and liberals. The members of the American public just don't get it.
Well, let's put that question to Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee. He joins us now, and Michelle, join in. Senator, why is a bailout measure necessary right now? Why not? Why not let Wall Street fail?
Well, if it were just about Wall Street, we would. But think of it as a great big wreck on an 8-lane interstate highway, and the road is filled with cars and trucks and bad mortgage loans, and the traffic's backed up for 50 miles. Now, would you stand around and have a philosophical discussion about how to fix the exit ramp, or would you hire the sheriff or somebody to go get the stuff off the road so the economic traffic could go again? What we have right now is we have a wreck on the economic highway, and the money for your payroll, the money for your car loan, the money for your mortgage loan, the money for your farm credit loan is stuck. We need to get this stuff off the highway, the traffic flowing again, and then we can talk about how to fix the system.
Mika, Senator, if I could just ask a question. For people, many economic or fiscal conservatives are completely against this legislation and feel that we should not be bailing out Wall Street. And my question for you is, for the average American, how do you explain that this is not necessarily a bailout of Wall Street? And also, how do you explain to Americans who say, I've been paying my mortgage on time, I wasn't irresponsible, I didn't get a mortgage that I couldn't possibly afford, and it's not fair that I should have to bail out, Joe Schmo down the street who took out a mortgage when they knew they couldn't pay the money back? How do you explain that to the public?
It's hard to do if you keep calling it a Wall Street bailout for $700 billion. It's not $700 billion. It's not for Wall Street, and it's not a bailout.
But it is for Wall Street, Senator.
Well, see, are you asking me the question, or are you going to answer it?
Listen, go ahead and answer it. But
All right.
I think
Why don't you give me a chance to answer the question?
Go ahead,
then?
Senator, but
All
I
right.
think it's about trust at
Well,
this
then you
point.
answer the question.
I'd love to hear from you, but I'd love to hear how the American taxpayer is supposed to believe that they're doing more than bailing out Wall Street, when ultimately, if they don't get anything in return and they don't get trust rebuilt, what do they get out of this? I'll let you speak.
Are you going to answer the question, or
Nope.
is it my turn?
Your turn.
All right. Thank you. All right. In the first place, if it were about Wall Street, we'd let them pick themselves up. In the second place, we're not bailing anybody out. We're buying bad mortgage assets for a price, a low price, and then selling them for what we hope will be more than we paid for them, or not much less than we paid for them. There's as good a chance that we'll make money for the taxpayer as a result of this as that we'll lose any money. And if we make any money, it'll go to reduce the debt. So it's not a bailout. And it's about Main Street, because the problem we have is that the economic highway is clogged with all of these mortgage loans and bad loans, and until we move them off the highway, which is what the Secretary of Treasury will do, your payroll check, your opportunity for a car loan in Nashville today, a third of the people who are trying to get car loans are being turned down because there is a credit crunch because of this clog on the highway. So it can't be a bailout, and it can't be for Wall Street if it's about somebody buying a car in Nashville and the taxpayer is being protected because we're buying assets and then selling assets. So if you keep calling it a $700 billion bailout, people will think that, but that's not what it is.
Okay, Michelle, you want to take this?
Senator, actually, you do raise a very good point, because I absolutely agree with you that we should not be calling it a bailout. That is just terminology that's become very popular since we've been seeing everything that's been going on on the Hill originally. One of the other questions I to ask you, though, and this is really, I'm playing devil's advocate and trying to help you and explain to the American public why some sort of help is needed. There are people who've made the argument that this is leading to socialism like what we saw many years ago in Eastern Europe, and that there has been talk on Capitol Hill from Democrats and Republicans who are saying that this is a great way for the government to earn money, pay down some of their national debt, and some of the fear that we see by many economic conservatives is that this will then, later on when something else happens, government will keep encroaching and growing to the point where we actually become a socialist nation. I don't believe that, but I think that the American public would love to hear from you an explanation as to why this is, this is a proper thing to do, and it's not government overreaching it. We're trying to limit government by doing this bailout.
Well, let me go back to the wreck on the highway again. If the traffic's backed all the way from Knoxville to North City, you don't stand around and ask for volunteers to come get the wrecks off the highway. You call the sheriff, or you call the government to come do it. That's what we're doing here. We're cleaning the stuff off the highway so that we can go back to our free market system where car companies borrow money and loan money to me or you. We buy a car. Tennesseans build a car. That's our free market system. This is an economic wreck. We want to clean it up at the lowest possible cost to the taxpayer. We don't have any danger of becoming a socialistic system if we get the wreck off the highway, and then we get the kind of regulatory system we need instead of one that was based on the calamities of the 1930s.
Well, that's fair enough. Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee, thanks very much.
Thank you for your time.
You explain it well. Thank you very much.
All right.
And joining me now, Congressman John Shadegg of Arizona.